Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to a brand new video. I have some exciting news to share. So first of all, excuse the state of me. I'm looking a little bit flushed. Avery is at nursery. I took her to nursery this morning. She seemed really happy to be there, but I'm gonna keep saying it, that hill is a killer. And I always feel quite breathless and flushed and warm when I come home. But Avery is at nursery, I am at home, I have the whole day to myself, the house to myself, so I thought what better way to spend it than catching up with you guys. So if you've been following me for a little while, then you might know that I turned 30 last year, the big 3-0. I shared with you guys what I got for my birthday. I mean, I was spoiled rotten. There was one gift or treat, if you will, that I just didn't share with you guys, and that was for a lot of reasons. But for my birthday, and I still can't quite believe it, for my birthday, Josh has arranged, planned, booked to take me on holiday. Not just any holiday. He's taking me to the Maldives. He's taking me to the Maldives. Like, oh my god, he's taking me to the Maldives. And the Maldives is like my #1 bucket list destination. It's the one place I have always wanted to go in my lifetime, and Josh knows that. And he mentioned it in passing as a joke a few months before my birthday. Well, maybe he wasn't joking, but at the time I took it as a joke because, yeah, right. And he booked it. He's booked it. He's planned it. He's booked it. And we are going 8 weeks tomorrow. So we're going in March, a couple of weeks after Avery's birthday. And here's the twist. We're going alone. Just me and Josh. We are not taking the kids, which is just scary in itself. So in this video, really, I kind of wanted to just give you a little bit of a catch up on what's been planned, because I haven't really shared it much, and what I've done to prepare so far, I suppose. So obviously the big thing here is the fact that we're not taking the kids, and Zach and Eli, they have spent periods of time with family, mainly my mum and dad, and they've been fine. They love it, they're great. They really don't seem to mind me and Josh being absent, which is sad to think about it like that, but I know they're fine, so it gives me comfort. Avery's a little bit different. Aside from nursery now, which is a huge step, and you know, for the odd hour here or there, Josh and I have never been away from Avery together at one time. So we've never gone away without Avery before. We've never been away for the night without Avery before. So this is a huge deal, especially considering her kind of health with her epilepsy and whatnot. Took a little bit of a turn over the last year. It is a massive deal. Now, our first thought was, because I wasn't involved in the planning process as such, but I did know about it. Ultimately, it was Josh that booked it, and it's Josh that's kind of in charge of all of it, which is, I'm like a control freak and I'm a planner, so like handing over the reins to Josh has been a bit weird. But this is kind of Josh's trip to plan. It's Josh's thing because it's supposed to be a gift for me for my 30th birthday. He essentially told me that, you know, this is what we're gonna do, this is a birthday present, happy birthday kind of thing. And then we looked through resorts together. I told him which ones I liked, and he booked it. Still can't quite believe that. But I wasn't quite as involved in the whole planning process as I would normally be. Normally I'd be in complete control of it. But we talked about it. After he told me that he was taking me, we talked about the logistics, how we were going to do it, because at this point I still didn't think it was going to happen. You know, I thought there were too many moving parts. It would be too scary leaving Avery. So we thought for a very short period about taking Avery, not in like to take Avery away, but just so that we could go and not feel, you know, completely on edge the entire time. But that kind of thought was put out pretty much immediately because, you know, with the Maldives, these are very small islands that don't have hospitals on them, and even their main island doesn't really have a very big hospital. So that to us was just way too risky. It obviously crossed our minds, like, could we all go, but it would just be, there's just no way we would be able to afford it. I mean, Josh has really been working hard, doing tons of overtime just to try and pay for this trip, because once again, he's doing it all. But yeah, we knew we couldn't take Avery to somewhere like the Maldives. It just wouldn't be safe for her. So we thought, oh, how are we going to do this and feel comfortable? Because there would be no point in going to this paradise dream destination if Josh and I wouldn't be able to relax. We knew we were gonna have my mum come and be with the kids. She was perfectly happy to do that, bless her. So she moved away since then. She is actually going to come back here and be with the kids while we were away. But that still wasn't, you know, it didn't calm our nerves with Avery as such, because even though my mum can do Avery's G-tube feeds, she hasn't really experienced any of the kind of scary stuff or the emergency situations. I mean, I remember when we were in Orlando and my mum watched the kids for us for a day, and I was trying to tell her all the things that could go wrong with the G-tube and how to troubleshoot it, and she just looked panicked. So I knew it wasn't an option for my mum to watch all of the kids. Now, luckily, my brother's fiance is a nurse, and not only that, she for a living, she actually cares for children with complex medical needs. So she is very experienced in children just like Avery. She is experienced in the G-tube, she is experienced with epilepsy, she's experienced with tracheostomies. Obviously Avery doesn't have a tracheostomy, so that's not something we need to worry about. Josh and I feel as though Avery would be safe in her hands, so we asked her before we booked anything if it was something she would be willing to do, come with my mum and essentially work for us and be Avery's carer for the week. And no questions asked, she said absolutely, she'd love to, which warms my heart a little bit actually, because that's just how much everyone loves Avery. So we are essentially hiring a nurse to come in and watch Avery so we can go away. And yeah, so that is the plan in terms of the kids. My sister-in-law is going to be here for Avery. I am going to write up a very extensive care plan to leave for my sister-in-law, so she kind of knows all of the sort of details and specifics on Avery and her care and her G-tube and what she likes and doesn't like and her feed and all of that stuff. But I know that she would be able to confidently look through a care plan like that and know exactly what I'm talking about, whereas someone who doesn't have any experience in a child with complex medical needs might see a care plan like that and not know what to do with it, not know what much of it means. So that I think gives me and Josh just enough comfort to know that all the kids will be safe and happy for us to steal a bit of time away together and go to my #1 dream destination. So we're going in March, like I said, so the weather is meant to be really, really nice then. That is also something that we had to kind of think about, is what time of year to go. Obviously, normally when we would go away, it would be summertime. However, it's a tropical climate, which means you're more likely to get sort of hurricane weather in the summer. So March seems to be a nice time to go. So we're going for a week. We didn't want to do any more than that because we felt like it was just too long away from the kids. So we're going to be spending a week in the Maldives. We are going all inclusive, which is lovely. We are flying from Stansted Airport. So it's an airport I've never actually been to before. And we fly from Stansted Airport to Dubai, which is a 7-hour flight. I've also never been to Dubai, not that I'll really see much of it because we'll be in the airport. But then we have a connecting flight then to Malé Airport, which is the main island of the Maldives, which is another, I think, 4-hour flight. So it is going to be a lot of travel. I'd imagine we'll be very, very tired. So the day we leave, the day we fly out, we don't actually arrive in the Maldives until the following morning, which we thought would actually be nice because we arrive in the morning, which means we get that full day. And it works out that we actually get 6 full days and 6 nights there. So on the 7th day, we leave in the morning to make our journey home. And even though most of the time you wouldn't want to leave a tropical paradise like that, I am sure a week will be just enough for us because we will be so desperate to get back and see the kids and just make sure the house is still standing and everyone is okay. Now obviously we've thought, you know, what happens if Avery's sick? What happens if Avery has a seizure while we're away? This is why we are having my sister-in-law come here, because she will know what to do in an emergency and she will be able to manage an emergency in a calm way. Whereas I think if you're not familiar with complex medical needs, you would panic at the sight of a seizure. I say that because I did when we first saw seizures, and so did Josh. We used to panic, whereas now we can deal with things a lot more calmly, and ultimately that is just kind of a safer environment all round. So it gives me a lot of comfort knowing that she will be here to manage that for Avery just in case anything should happen, because we would be a long way from home and it certainly wouldn't be very easy to just hop on a plane and come back straight away. So I am very excited. The resort we are staying at is called Sun Siam Oluveli, and we've done a ton of research on it since booking it. We're really excited. We are staying in a overwater villa, which once again is like my dream. I've always wanted to stay in one of those little overwater villas. Now we're not 100% decided on the room. At the moment we have a Dulux water villa booked. However, we are kind of looking into whether or not we might be able to upgrade to one with a pool if we can, and it's affordable, like not too much more, then great. If not, then I'm still perfectly happy with what we have. I am just so excited. Now I have already taken out travel insurance, which by the way is so much cheaper when it is just the two of you. Our travel insurance was very expensive when we took the kids to America, mainly because of Avery, but we do have good travel insurance. I took it out with Tesco. I wanted to make sure it was a company I was familiar with, just in case, you know, something really bad did happen and we had to get back, or, you know, Avery got sick before we went and it brought us to the point where we felt like we needed to cancel. I wanted to make sure we had good insurance in place, which we do. Everything is pretty much planned and ready to go. Really, we are just on the countdown now, which is so exciting. I still I couldn't let myself get excited all the way up until around now. And I think it's just because it seems so surreal that it doesn't feel like it's going to happen. But now that we are kind of 8 weeks out, the countdown is on, it's getting closer, and Josh and I are starting to get a few bits here and there in preparation for it, and we're starting to get really excited now. We're kind of YouTubing it and we're Googling it and reading reviews and just seeing what we're in for. I know that Josh, I mean, this is not Josh's kind of holiday. Josh isn't too keen on the lazy on the beach relaxation kind of holiday. He likes to be doing things. Orlando was the perfect trip for Josh, whereas me, I love the idea of being able to lay on a beach and plop in and out of the sea when I get too hot. But with it being the Maldives, I know that there will be plenty of stuff to keep Josh occupied. They have all of the non-motorized water sports. Obviously we're all inclusive, so we can eat until our heart is content. They have the wildlife. Josh is very excited to try and find sharks. I'm quite looking forward to doing some snorkeling and seeing some tropical fish. The only kind of experience I've got with that is when we went to Discovery Cove in Orlando, but the water in their kind of pool that they have with the tropical fish was very cold. I hear the sea in the Maldives is quite nice and warm, so I am looking forward to that. But essentially, yeah, that is the big update. So it is for my 30th birthday. However, the way I look at it as well is Josh and I did not have a honeymoon. We didn't take a honeymoon, and that was for a couple of reasons. We were still kind of within COVID restrictions, and also Avery still had her NG tube when we got married, so we just didn't think it was wise to take her abroad. So Josh ended up taking a little bit of time off work, and we just kind of went out for dinner and stuff a few times sort of the week after our wedding, but we did not have a honeymoon. So I almost feel as though this is a very, very delayed honeymoon. I mean, me and Josh have been married for 2.5 years, but because we never had that honeymoon experience, I'm kind of really excited to sort of have that uninterrupted time with him and just spend a bit of time me and him, because I don't think, I mean, we went to Crete together, and this was before we were married, before we were engaged actually, before Avery was born obviously, and we went for I think 5 days, so we had that, but since then we have not had that kind of stretch of time, just me and him. So it's gonna feel really nice to spend some one-to-one time with him and just be able to relax and not have to worry about anyone else and not have to be on somebody else's time schedule. So I am so excited. I am counting down the days. So like I said, I have been doing a little bit of preparation for the trip, and by preparation I mean purchasing a few nice things. With it being quite a luxury holiday, which I feel like I have never ever done before, I felt as though I wanted to feel my best as well. So I've done a little bit of shopping on Shein. I chose Shein mainly because their stuff is really cheap, and a lot of the items that I've picked are kind of the things that you can really only wear on holiday. There's a couple of things I would wear at home if the occasion called for it, but there's some things that I've kind of pushed myself out of my comfort zone a little bit. So I thought I would do a little bit of a haul and show you what I've picked up. So my first purchase, and completely random, I've bought some swimming shoes. The reason why I've bought swimming shoes is because I have quite sensitive feet, and the idea of standing on a rock, like I would like to do some snorkeling, I would like to, you know, get involved in seeing the wildlife and whatnot, but the idea of standing on a rock, I mean, I know there's a lot of coral as well, but ideally you don't step on the coral. I don't like the idea of standing on rocks, which is why I've got these. So I thought these would be really handy. Also, I feel like they'll make me feel a little bit better about, I don't know, about certain fish rubbing up against my feet. So I've bought some swimming shoes. Josh has also bought some as well, so obviously I must have had a good idea because he stole the idea from me. This was my newest purchase, again on Shein, really, really affordable, and I just wanted a nice little evening bag. So I've got like a canvas bag that I'll probably just use in the daytime to carry around a towel and some sun cream with me and whatnot, but I wanted something that I could have in the evening, just something to pop my phone, my camera maybe, some lip gloss, just so that I'm not carrying about 4 things, because most of the outfits that I've got don't have pockets, and I just thought this was really nice. It proper holiday vibes with it being straw, but it has the longer strap as well, so I can kind of wear it on the shoulder, or if I just want to carry it, then I can take that strap off and just hold it by the handles. So I really like this. It doesn't have a zip or anything, it's not very secure, but for me really it's just so that I'm not carrying multiple things around with me, because I know I'll end up dropping something. Next, I picked up a couple of bikinis. Now when I think Maldives or any tropical destination for that matter, I think beige. Of course I think beige, I always think beige, but no, I really do. I think beige, I think light colours, I think whites, maybe blues, but I don't really want to buy blue stuff because I know that I feel better in neutrals. So I went for a couple of beige bikinis. I do already have like a black triangle bikini, which I will probably take with me as well. Also, I forgot to mention, Josh and I intend to do this trip on hand luggage only, which I think will be a bit of a challenge, but I've travelled with less. When me and the boys went to Spain, all of us, so that's all 4 of us, went with just backpacks. So that's not even like a carry-on suitcase, that was just backpacks, and we managed just fine. So I think we'll be able to do it, but I do need to kind of be frugal on what I take. So I think 3 bikinis would be more than enough. So the first one I picked up was kind of a strapless one. I wanted a strapless option because of tan lines, and my other 2 are kind of string bikinis, and these are the bottoms. I just really like the texture on them. This has got like a little bit like a waffle type texture. So that was my first one, and then the second one was again like a string style bikini, like a triangle bikini. I like these on my body shape, I think, because I'm quite straight up and down, if you know what I mean. I quite like the string bikinis. I think they're the most flattering on my body shape. This is the top, and then these are the bottoms. Again, they've got quite a nice texture. It's not just plain. The colour is plain, but then you get the fun with the texture, which I think is what I like. I'm not too keen on like patterned bikinis, but I do like ones with texture. And what I like about this one is that it actually came with like a little tiny sarong style thing. So I love Shein's swimwear. Honestly, if you've never tried Shein swimwear, give it a go, because the quality is really, really good. They're usually really quite thick fabrics, and I just feel like they're quite, you know how some bikinis they can show a little bit too much texture, if you know what I mean. These aren't like that at all. They are really, really thick. The only thing I will say is a lot of Shein's bikini bottoms tend to run on the little bit more cheeky side, and I'm not overly comfortable in wearing a full-on thong. This is about as cheeky as it gets for me, and this is quite cheeky, but the reason that I was okay with this one is because it came with that sarong. So if I was walking around and I didn't feel quite comfortable with having so much bum on show, I've got that little sarong to wrap around me. So those are the bikinis that I bought. I'm not going to do try-on clips. What I will do is find the kind of model pictures from Shein and just insert them on the screen as I go through. So I grabbed a couple of cover-ups. Now I do have kind of like a shirt and short combo that I bought last summer that I will definitely take, because I love a shirt thrown over a bikini. I think it's a really nice look. I just wanted a couple more. We are there for 6 days, and like I said, I want to feel nice about myself. I don't want to feel as though I'm wearing the same thing over and over again. I bought this one. Now this, if I can stand back far enough, is pretty much a maxi length, and it's basically like this, almost like this crochet detail. So it is very, very sheer. You can see through it, but then the idea is you're supposed to wear a bikini underneath it. Now when I last looked, this one was actually out of stock, but they had one really similar. The only thing I was annoyed about is this was supposed to come with like a string belt, and it didn't. And when this actually fits on me, it sits quite low, too low in fact. So I had to try and figure out a way to make this work without a belt, because the idea of adding a belt to it, it doesn't feel very, you know, the whole point is I'm supposed to be able to just throw this on over a swimsuit or a bikini. So what I'm actually going to do with this is when it's on, I'm going to kind of pull the straps back like this, and I'm going to use a little bit of like jute string or something and tie it at the back here. That way it actually lifts it up a little bit. I have already tested it to see if it works, and it does. It lifts it up a little bit so that it's not too low, but still the back still looks really, really nice, because when it's tied together like that, it almost kind of flows. So it's still gonna look good. So yeah, I'll just tie the straps with a piece of string before we go, and that will make it a nice easy throw on cover up that still looks really, really flattering. But yeah, it's like a maxi length, and then it has 2 slits either side that kind of go just below knee length. This is the kind of thing that I knew I wanted. I want to feel like I look nice while I'm there, but the nice thing about Shein is I really didn't have to spend much money to do it. The next cover up is this one, and like I said, I do have a black string bikini that I plan on taking. So this one is just a wrap style. You wrap it around yourself, and again it is like a maxi length, so it's like a skirt. You just wrap it around yourself, and then it ends up with like a big slit up the side here, because it's literally just tied together. This was supposed to be kind of a one size fits all, and I suppose most sizes could get away with it. I felt as though I needed to wrap it around twice to make it fit nicely, but I just thought this would look really, really nice with a a simple black bikini. And I think what I like about it as well is, even though it is sheer, once it's on it doesn't look very sheer. So I feel as though I will feel quite comfortable in this. And I've tried to pick up a few bits that will float nicely in the breeze. I think that will make for some really, really nice pictures, and this one's definitely one of the things that will do that. The next thing I picked up was a silk scarf. Obviously not real silk, and really, really random. The reason for this is because I don't like to wear hats all of the time. I have a cap that I will probably take with me just to kind of keep my face out of the sun if I feel like I need it, but I don't tend to wear hats very often. But I do like to wear my hair in plaits, especially on holiday, because you can take them out of an evening and it looks nice and beachy and wavy. But if you have your hair in a part and the sun is blaring, me in particular, I end up getting sunburn on my scalp where my part is. So I thought that this would be really nice just to be able to kind of wrap on my head, a little bit like a bandana. I'm not really demonstrating this very, very well, am I? There we go, a little bit like a bandana. So I might look a little bit like a pirate, but that's fine, just to throw on and protect my scalp. I mean, I think it was like £2, something like that, so I thought it was worth spending that just to give it a go and protect my head a little bit. The next thing is an evening outfit, and this is a two-piece and probably my favourite of everything that I've purchased for the Maldives. I will insert a picture, like I said, of what it looks like on the model. I feel like this is really elegant and really, really flattering. Again, it's like a plain colour, but it has texture to it, which I just think it's a nice detail. So it comes with the halter neck crop top, and this sits quite high cut, which is nice. And the bottoms is actually a skirt, and it's kind of a maxi skirt, so it does like come to the ankles, but it has this big opening up the front which kind of sits just above the knee. So it looks like a maxi skirt without looking too formal. It just looks really, really elegant. And then it has this knot detail on the front here, and when it kind of sits on your hips, it's just really, really flattering. And again, it completely matches with the top. It has that lovely texture. They had this in so many different colours as well. I obviously opted for a neutral colour. I think they had other neutral colours. I think they had a shade lighter than this. I think they might have had a white. I think this one, it was either mocha or champagne. I think it was champagne, the colour it was described as on the website. But that's definitely my favourite outfit, and I'm really, really excited to wear it. Now, this next one was definitely the one that really pushed me out of my comfort zone. Now, it looks quite orange on camera, and I suppose it is orange. I was expecting it to be a little bit more on the brownie side when it came, but actually I quite like the orangey colour. I think this is going to look really, really nice on holiday, but honestly, this is probably the kind of thing that will only ever be worn on a holiday. I don't think I'd feel comfortable in it in this country, but it is a maxi dress. Again, I will show you a picture of what it looks like on the model. And then at the top it just kind of ties up, and then it leaves it quite open backed, and it has quite a deep plunge at the front, so quite out of my comfort zone. I am not the kind of person that normally has that much on show. However, because I am quite flat chested, I thought it would look quite nice. I don't need to wear a bra with it. I've already tried it on, and I just feel like it looks quite flattering. The skirt is quite floaty, and it is again a maxi length, but it has two slits at the front, kind of where your legs are, and I just felt as though in the breeze that will kick back so nicely at the back, and we'll be able to get some really nice pictures. And I just thought, if ever I'm gonna like push myself out of my comfort zone and wear something like this, then it's gonna be on a tropical island where no one is ever going to see me again on that island. And to be honest, surprisingly, when it arrived, I actually really liked the way it looked. And Josh also really likes everything I've bought as well, which is nice, because obviously I want to look nice for him as well as myself, with it being a romantic Getaway. The next thing I picked up was this little top, and it's literally just like a crocheted style top. I thought it was really pretty and very kind of Maldivian vibes, but my thought with this is, one, I can literally just tie it up. It's already got the padding built in, so I don't feel like I'll need to, well, I won't need to wear a bra, and you can't really wear a bra with this just because of how it is built, but I've already tried it on. It is really flattering, and I thought this would go really nice with my cream coloured trousers that I bought last year. So I think I've worn them in a video before. I've definitely showed them to you in a haul, but they're just kind of like white linen effect, like linen style trousers, and I've tried this on with them and it looks really nice. It just looks like a nice kind of relaxed but expensive looking outfit, even though the entire outfit probably cost less than £15, but I just thought it was a nice alternative to a dress. So those are all of the bits that I have bought for the Maldives. Apart from that, I will probably just add a few things that I already have from my own wardrobe. I don't plan on taking too much. I plan on taking, I think, yep, three bikinis, maybe 3 or 4 cover-ups, and then just a nice outfit for each evening that we're there. Most of them are small things, so small as in thin, so they should fold up quite small. So I'm really hoping I can get away with just hand luggage. We should do, I think the biggest thing is going to be liquids with sun cream and whatnot, but what I have actually done, again in preparation for this trip, is done a little bit of research on how we could limit the amount of liquids that we are taking. So one of the best tips that I found was trying to replace as much liquid as possible with solids. So you guys know I love my Wild deodorant. That is a solid, so that's already replacing a liquid or an aerosol deodorant, so that doesn't need to go in a liquids bag. If you're not from the UK, when you travel from the UK, you literally get like a small clear plastic bag and you're only allowed to fill 1 of them per person, so you are limited in what liquid you can take in hand luggage. So I scoured the internet and tried to find as much solid stuff that I could use to replace liquid stuff. So I found this on Amazon. This is the Neutrogena Beach Defense Water and Sun Protection Sunscreen Stick, SPF 50+. I also found one for the face. This is the Sunbum Factor 30 Sunscreen Face Stick. Obviously Factor 50 is better for the face. We are going to be taking a couple of small liquid sunscreens, so I will probably just use some of the 50 from one of there just to dab onto the parts of my face that I know will catch the sun the most. And then also I found this on Amazon again, the Kinkind After Sun Moisturising Bar. Kinkind had a few different types of this. I went for the After Sun one because that is what I want to use it for, but it's basically like a bar of soap. And After Sun is usually a massive bottle and it takes up so much room, and couldn't take it in hand luggage anyway, so I thought we would give an After Sun bar a go, and then it doesn't take any of our liquid allowance away. And then for facial moisturizer, I picked up some of these little individual sachets. This is just the Simple Water Boost Hydrating Gel Cream, and I thought because these are little sachets, I can split them up and just kind of shove them in the little sides where there's gaps in our little tiny clear plastic bag that we can take through the airport. And I thought this would just be a better space saving way to take face moisturizer than an actual bottle of face moisturizer. So it's little things like that that I think will allow us to be able to go hand luggage only. The reason why we're going hand luggage only is none other than the fact that we can get in and out of the airport fairly quickly. We can check in quickly and we can leave the airport quickly because we don't have to wait for bags, especially coming homebound. I know that we're both going to be really eager to get home to the kids. So when we get off the flight, we can come straight through customs and get straight out of the airport. We don't need to wait for all the bags to come round. So that is everything that I've purchased. I really don't think I need any more. I think we've pretty much got everything we need. Now really it is just the countdown. I still can't quite believe we're going. It still feels very, very, very surreal. But it is definitely going to be one of those kind of once in a lifetime things that we will never get to do again. So I am really making the most of the preparation, because sometimes I feel as though that is just as good as actually going on holiday, is preparing for it and letting yourself get really excited. But there you have it. That is my little update. I know this is not normal to my usual videos. The next video, don't worry, you will see plenty of Avery, but I just wanted to give you this update because it's something that I've kind of been keeping under wraps for the last few months, and I am really excited to actually start sharing it with you and sharing the excitement and sharing our plans. And I'm not 100% decided on if I'm actually going to film this trip or not. I'm definitely going to be taking snippets of it because it's something that I'm never going to want to forget, but whether or not I actually vlog or just kind of show you the snippets in a video when we get home, I'm not sure yet. I really don't want to put the pressure on myself because, once again, this is a once in a lifetime trip, and I really, really, really want to make the most of it and enjoy it. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in a few days with the next one. Bye guys.